Welcome back to my channel, guys, and today's video we will be covering React Native components. So these components are very important to understand. So these have some built-in components which is provided by React Native, and some of the components we can create our own, which we say the custom components. So these are the two very important things we will be understanding in this video and exploring, and we'll try to use couple of these built-in components. But definitely this series will help you to understand all of them, but yeah, a couple of them will take example today itself in order to see how we can just import or start using these built-in components. So guys, before even moving forward, so if you are liking this series, please do share with your friends and subscribe to the channel before moving forward, and please like the video. So in order to have the list of components available from React Native, we have to just go to the React Native documentation. This is the best place where you can directly see all of the things, right? So you can see we have a couple of basic components. We have user interface list, we use Android specific, iOS specific components or others, right? So this is the link I will just leave on the description. You can directly go and see yourself. So basic components is like view, text, image, which is like even if you go to any HTML page, right, you can see your images, you can see the text, you can have your background color, right? So all of that. You have scroll by default in browser you will get, but here you have to provide that thing. You have to tell to your mobiles. So guys, view is very fundamental component, right, which will help you to put everything inside it so that it knows like here is the place we will be doing something, like we'll be rendering our list, we'll be putting our text here or image here, right? So view is the basic. Text is help you to render any kind of text, and image will help you to render your images. So input text will help you to enter some data inside the input box, and scroll view will help you to scroll your sections, right, basically horizontally or vertically. So style sheet will help you to beautify your application. Like when I say beautify, maybe it will increase the font size, put the background color, right, or maybe like it will help you to structure, right, your application, like in order to have the layout properly, right, using flex, right? So these are the basic components which we will be having. We have user interfaces like button and switch. We have list view like flat list and section list. All of them we'll talk about in this series, so don't worry about that. But yes, in this video you can just go through. This is your task. You can go through these components, just see the examples. You can try. I know you have already done your setup, but definitely you can go and try. So let's go back to our code and see how we can use some of them. Let's say we have this previous example, right? So where we have already imported this text and view from React Native. So that means we are using the inbuilt component. So this text we can reuse, right? So we can say this text, and we can say this is another video. So you can see this text coming in here, right? So that means we are using this inbuilt component. So similarly, if you wanted to use any kind of image, right, so we have to import this image component, so which is provided by React Native, and we have to provide some source to it. Like basically we have to put source. Okay, so in React Native how it works is you have to put require directly here. Require, you have to just say from where you are putting anything here. So let's say we have some images available previously we have seen, right? So this image, let's say this image, right? So icon png, so we can use this icon png. Okay, so now in order to see this particular image, you have to definitely provide width and height. So there is a class which we have already created, so we have to just say style. Okay, so in order to put these styles, right, we need to use this styles variable, right? And this variable is something which carry this object of styling, right? So which is created by this style sheet component, which is built in React Native components. Okay, so now this styles variable we have, so styles dot tiny logo, right? You can choose from here. So now you see your image is rendering here, right? So that means you have used one of the built-in component from React Native. So now let's talk about the custom components. How can you create the custom components? So you can create in separate file, but in order to just show you the example, so I'll quickly create this component. Let's say this is called extra text. Okay, this is the function. It look like a function, but it's a component for us, because any component you should be starting with the caps, okay, in order to render that in React, also on React Native. So that's how it will be. So we have to return some kind of JSX, right? So as you know, like we'll talk about JSX in this series, but yeah, for now I'll be just returning some kind of view, right? So view is, I told you, right, is a very basic thing in React Native. Okay, so we have a view which have some text. Okay, so we are still using the existing imported components only, right? So we are using the view and text which we have already used down there, right? So this text will have extra text. Okay, so now we have created this component, but we have not used it. So in order to use the component, so what you have to do, you have to just come here, start putting this arrow and paste that. Okay, so likewise you will import your components. Okay, we will also talk about how you will pass the data from this particular function to the another function in future videos. But yeah, for now, just to understand how you can create custom components and use in your main component, right? So that is what the example. So it's a pretty small example which use inbuilt component and return you something else, right? So guys, in this video we have covered both the topics, and I think now you know how you can create basic components. And I think so for you to have the task is create multiple components and start using inside your app.js. Okay, so till then, keep coding, keep shining, and bye bye, take care.